purposely sitting up. We're going to work on the hips and the shoulders a little bit more today. So let's go ahead and start in a seated position. Make sure your props are close enough that you can grab them nearby. Just along the sides of your mat probably are going to be easiest, because we are going to pull those in from time to time. And then once you decide how you're sitting, you know, if it's in an easy pose like this, or if it's in a butterfly position or a deer position, just mainly feel the sits bones connected to the ground. And then bring your awareness into your spine so that it's long and tall. And if you feel any pain under the sits bones, or if you feel pain in the low back, then grab a blanket and put it underneath your sits bones and kind of set your bottom on the blanket and prop it up, because that's going to tilt the pelvis forward a little bit and probably take some of that tension out of your low back. All right. Then I want you to bring your awareness to the shoulders, and we want to draw them back and down. And you'll probably start feeling a lengthening through the back of your neck when you do this. If it feels comfortable, sometimes the body will kind of tilt the face forward, almost like you're bowing a little bit, and that's fine too. And then if you're comfortable, close your eyes. If not, just have a soft, out of focus eye gaze down toward the floor. And then I want you to bring your awareness to my voice. Noticing how your ears receive the sound. Awareness to the breath and how it feels to experience the lungs expand and contract with each breath that you take. Please notice the rhythm of your own breath without trying to manipulate it. Just be aware of each inhale and each exhale. Awareness of the time. If the inhale is a lot longer or shorter than the exhale, see what happens if you try and count them out in order to make them match. We'll take a few moments while you pay attention to that. Bring your awareness now into the belly, so that when you breathe, I'd like you to imagine the belly expands like a balloon and then deflates on the exhale. Notice if your shoulders lift up on your inhale, and if they do, see what happens when you purposely draw them down and just let the belly do the movement. Bring your awareness into your mind and ask your mind what it's thinking. Is this something that's important, or can it be set outside the door for now? I want you to go into your heart now and ask your heart what it's thinking. What does it have to say? And from there, ask it for an intention. And then bring that intention into your mind and repeat it 3 times. We ask our own higher self, our angels and our guides, to connect with us today in a loving way. In this beautiful space that Tricia has so graciously offered to us, we protect this space north, south, east, and west. That each one of our mats is purposely holding a vibration and energy that is meant for your highest good today. And you may not know what that is, and it does not matter, because your angels, your guides, and your higher self all know exactly what it does need. And so we just ask, allow, accept, and receive this. Take another deep breath in through your nose, just consciously now watching that breath. And on your exhale, drop your chin down to your chest completely, all the way down. If you get any pain in the back of the neck, then just stop work before the pain sets in. And then I'd like you to take 2 more breaths into the muscles in the back of your neck, specifically drawing your awareness to it. Remember that your body talks to you through sensation. Listening to that sensation and being aware of what it's saying so we avoid pain. All of these poses today are to go to the range of motion that works for you, and then we stop and we relax. Inhale, bring your head back up to center. Exhale, drop it back if it's comfortable. Again, only going to the limit that your body provides and allows. As you open up through the front of the throat, this is the time that we forgive ourselves for words that we said that we wish we had not, for words that we did not that we wish we had. We let go of that at this time, and our angels and guides take that energy, they recycle it, pink, purple, gold. Inhale, come back up to center. Exhale, dropping your head towards your left shoulder. If it's feeling tight on that right side, maybe take your peace fingers and rub them behind the back of your ear. Maybe little circles as you massage down the right side of your neck, down through that big vein, through those big muscles, through the right side of your neck. It just depends what feels good to you. Maybe you feel like, oh, I could actually massage the trap right now. You know, what is it that's appealing to you? Maybe you're just breathing into those muscles and giving them permission to turn off and turn loose. Inhale, come back up to center, and then exhale, dropping to the other side. Sometimes it's common for one side to be a little tighter than the other. If you feel like massaging again, bringing the fingertips up, maybe bringing the breath in. I always say bring the breath in, that's always good, bring the intention in. But sometimes that little added physical touch might be beneficial to you and add quite a bit to your own self-care time today. Inhale, bring your head back up to center. Exhale your breath. Good. Slowly open up your eyes. I'm going to have you bring your arms out to the side, palms facing up. Go ahead and pull your belly button in towards the spine. Feel the sits bones ground, and then lengthen tall through the spine by sitting straight up and pull your shoulders back and down. This is really going to activate that powerhouse center between the bottom of the ribs and the top of your hips. Good. Take a deep breath in, and on your exhale, swing your right elbow underneath your left one. Okay, and then pull the hands toward each other. So we're basically moving into an eagle position. All right, bring your feet out in front of you into a butterfly position. So that just means that the feet, the bottom of the feet are touching. Make adjustments to props if you need to. Pressing the feet together, not killing them as you're pushing them together or creating pain. And then back that sensation off. Press again. Just a little light isometric here, just a little pressure, maybe 15%. Back it off. Press one more time. And back it off. If it feels good to keep them pushing because you feel more stable, you can continue to do that off and on. Otherwise, if you're fine like this, go ahead and lean forward. And then I want you to now pay attention to where your arms stop, because this is what's important. If they don't come all the way down to the feet, then unwind, grab a block or a bolster or something and bring it to make this higher so that your arms will actually rest on something. So again, It's not like you have to flow. This isn't vinyasa, so we're not flowing through this stuff. It's bringing the props in so that you can actually rest and relax the muscles. The other thing I want you to think about as well is the fact of, would you feel any pain in the knees? Because if you feel pain in the knees, then it will also help to bring a block on either side of the knees and prop those puppies up. So you can also turn like that. Do you see what I mean? Yeah, just to give you a little bit more space. Okay. Oh, wait, okay, that's all right. And also don't, if it's painful, just go like this. Yeah, okay. Good, about another minute and a half. Do you guys care if I rub my hands down your back? Anybody opposed to that? Inhale, come back up to center. Unwind your arms, shake them out. Maybe the shoulders too, a little bit. Okay, before we go into the other side, we're gonna go into another motion of a half butterfly. So this means that one leg is in and one leg is out. If the knee that is bent, and you can choose, doesn't matter which one. If the knee that is bent, that is out, if there's pain in it, again, you can put a blanket, a block. It just depends on how tight the hip flexor muscles might be for you. And then also pay attention to what's happening in the back of the knee that's, of the leg that it's extending. Because if it seems to be tight or tense or having any issues, bending it will take out the pressure in the back of the knee, and you can bring it up and put something under it as well. Okay, is everybody good? Okay, this one is a little bit different. I'm gonna give you different options today because of the fact that we can stretch through the upper body in this position. I'm gonna give you the options of either coming forward, and again, maybe a block for the elbows, maybe a bolster to rest them on, or maybe coming all the way down. Another option would be to actually angle and turn toward the leg and face forward. And then the last option would be to side angle, almost like a gate pose, and get a lateral stretch of your spine. So those are the options. We are gonna be in this for a couple minutes, so maybe you wanna do all three and just let your body tell you where it wants to go when. And don't hesitate if you have questions. If you feel like you need some help with that, don't hesitate to let me know. What do you feel like would be most comfortable? Going that way? Okay, then that's probably what we'll do. Okay. Right, right. So it's around, yeah. Does that feel okay? Mm-hmm. Okay, perfect. It's so evident for me as a teacher when I'm walking around. I can see how everyone's body responds differently to these poses. all of us have our own muscles and tendons that are giving the support to the bones. And that's why I love doing custom yoga classes, because we're all so unique in what works best for us. So it's important not to judge or create an expectation of your body when you're in these poses, because it's going to be, what does your body need right now? Maybe not even today, but right now. Everything that you've been thinking about, everything that you've been doing is going to play a part in what your body experiences when you're on the mat today. So just go with it. We have another minute, so if you want to change or alter anything, go ahead and do that. Draw your breath in through the back of the spine. And exhale. Good. Engage the belly. Inhale, roll up slowly. Okay. Before we go into the other side, we're going to go back to butterfly. So we're going to give ourselves a moment. I do highly encourage that once you get the legs in, go ahead and just send them straight out and give them a little shake, maybe a little happy tap. Love pats and Qigong. This is what wakes up the meridian lines, so it can be very helpful. Okay, then we're going to go back to butterfly. So remember, if you had all those props up underneath the knees, if you had anything under your feet, go ahead and pull that back in. If you had your bolsters and stuff, this time the left elbow will be under, so you just want to do the opposite of what you did before. If you want, pull them out, sit up tall, engage the belly, relax the shoulders down, and then swing. Remember, I have to be honest, you might not have the exact same range of motion on this side, right? Yeah, mine, it's so funny because some of them I can do this and some of them, I remember when I first did this pose, like ever, my hands were like this. So it just, it all depends on what's going on right back here in the back. When you lean over, see where you stop, and then decide what you want to pull in order to help you get comfortable and relaxed. We want to get the muscles around the bones, around your joints, to try to soften. in. Exhale. Inhale again, engage the belly. Start to roll up. Unwind. Arms come out, shake them out. Give them some love. Shake your shoulders out too, not just the arms and the wrist. All right. We're going to go into the other side of butterfly now. So whatever leg was out, bring it in. Close your eyes for a moment if you need to, and just, again, feel the sensations, because your body's going to talk to you in that sensation language. And it's like, okay, what does it feel like? Does it feel like it's pulling? Does it feel like it's stretching? Am I feeling pain? Am I feeling numbness? You know, it's asking, what does that sensation feel like? And then tweaking in order to be able to come up with what works best for you. Remember, it doesn't matter to me what you do in this position. If you want to do the exact same thing that you did on the other side, feel free. If you want to do something different, again, it's just asking your body what feels good today. But you're going to go ahead and bring the belly in. I'm already noticing I'm like going forward, and my back of my left hamstring goes, So it's much tighter than my right one is. The options again were either forward and then maybe bringing props to bring the floor higher and then resting the elbows of the head. You can turn and face the extended leg and go toward it. Or if you want to do a side body lateral stretch, that's another option as well. Is that hip okay? Okay, good. Think about your mind, what thoughts are coming into your mind right now. If it happens to be a thought that can wait till later, or maybe you don't even want it at all. Imagine that beyond the door is a bonfire. Things that you don't even want, toss it in. Let it dissolve. Maybe it just needs to be set aside and picked up after class. If that's the case, imagine a basket outside the door. Good. We have about another minute. If you wanted to, if you did on the other side, you kind of switched your position a little bit. Go ahead and take a moment to do that. Is that music okay for everybody? Loud enough? Mm-hmm. Okay. Breathe in through the back side of your spine. Maybe feel the breath go all the way down your neck, out through the top of your head. Try to relax a little bit more deeply for just a moment. And then consciously engage your belly again, activating your core muscles. When you're ready, inhale, roll up slowly. Okay. Extend maybe both legs. Give them a shake. Okay, we're moving to dragonfly now. So this is where the legs open. If you need to turn sideways on your mat in order to have the extension that you need, go ahead and make those adjustments. Pull your props again. I will say that, let me see that, Juliana, this one if you don't mind. So I will say that when you're doing dragonfly, if you cannot get like over to where you can even pull the floor up to have something to rest on, just remember you can do one of these numbers. You know, you can just totally rest your forehead into the bolsters as well. So if you need help from me to kind of help you get situated, let me know. Remember that the back of the knees can be kind of tender when we're leaning forward. If you want to put blankets, sometimes rolling the blanket up in a like a roll, circle, like in a circle, and bringing the knees up and putting the blankets under them can help. The bolsters, the small bolsters, and the blankets together. Oh, or even another concoction I like to make is like to put the blocks like this or like this, and then set that on top of it, and it really raises the floor up too. So yeah, getting creative. It is. It's like building a shelf. It's basically you're taking the floor, which is your foundation, and you're pulling it up higher. That's what the props are all about, is just bringing the floor up to the level that you need it today. You guys look great. And then again, don't hesitate to let me know if you're feeling any pain. Are you good? You okay? You want the blanket? Is that better?
Yes.
Okay.
Jackie, were you going to tell us a story?
Am I going to tell you a story?
Didn't you say you had a story to tell us?
I did. Oh, that was about the thieves, wasn't it? About the thieves. Oh, yeah. Okay, so thieves is a hot oil. Most of you know the story behind the thieves. If you don't, I'll give you a quick version. Back in the day when they had the bad plagues and all that, yeah. So people that died, there were people that had to go in and remove the bodies out of the houses. They would wrap their face in 5 oils, basically a combination of these oils, and they never got sick. And so those oils are a concoction within the thieves' spray oil. And I would be wrong if I tried to name them all, because I'm pretty sure it's like peppermint, lemon, geez, I'm already forgetting. I don't remember.
Definitely clove and frankincense.
Yes, clove, cinnamon, and one more thing. But anyway, the mixture of all of those together actually create like a antibiotic type of effect for people. So that's why I use it as an antiseptic spray. If I have allergies, because I have allergies, well, usually in the fall time and in the springtime, and I use thieves a lot just to help keep my nose and my throat and stuff feeling really good. So while I was traveling through Iceland, I had to get tested so many times that I just thought, because they jab you, like, I don't know if y'all had, but they jab you, and my nose was not happy. So my story is that I took the thieves and I put a drop on my fingertips, and then I would put it like the direct thieves in my nose where it was hurting. It burned like HE double hockey sticks, but after about 5 minutes, the pain was gone, and I swear I just felt so much better, and the pain was, everything was gone. There was no more burning from the oil, and I kept thinking maybe I should stick some coconut oil in there, to kind of diffuse it a little bit, but I didn't. I just let it go. I was just like trusting, because my spirit guides were like, you can do this, it's fine. You'll be fine, no worries. So I did. Oh my God. But yeah, I am so supportive of thieves. Anything of thieves, whether it's the oil or the spray, it's another story is like if you were to come and look at my medicine cabinet, there's only oils in there. I haven't taken pills in over 7 years. But yeah, I love oils. My body loves them.
I can't believe you put that right in the middle of it.
I did.
Can't even imagine what I put that right.
I have another friend in Alaska that she asked me one day, she was like, can I have some peppermint? I was like, yeah, but I don't have anything to diffuse it. She goes, no, just drop it. She was like, I was like, no. I was like, oh my God, there's no way I would put that directly in my mouth. I put it in tea but that at least it's diffused in the tea. All right, let's take 2 more breaths together here. Remember that you're pulling the breath in through the back of the ribs here. And then all of that breath, any tension, any thoughts, feelings, and emotions that are right there in the forefront of your mind or on your heart, allow them to come out with your exhales. And then we'll slowly begin to inhale and roll back up. And you set your props off to the side. We're going to move a little bit deeper into the hips by creating internal and external rotation of the hips on both sides. So this is deer pose. You were already doing it earlier. So what deer pose does is brings one foot in and the other foot back. Remember that the tighter your hips are, it's going to feel better to have your feet as close to your body as possible. It just takes more tension out of the joints. So this could be the beginning. Then from here, if you don't feel any tension, then you can start to slide maybe the front foot away from your body and see how that goes. If you still don't have any issues, maybe take the right foot and slide it a little bit further away from the body and see how that one goes. Hang on with this because I want to make sure that, yeah. The other thing, yeah, just be careful with your left toe. The other thing with this is you're putting the most tension in the joints. Well, I hate to say that word tension, but your intention, let's do that. Let's say we're putting the most intention into the hip joints by sitting up. However, if you're in pain, then please take that pressure out by leaning to the side. So like the foot that's bent, the knee and the hip that's the external rotation, turn to that side, grab a bolster or a blanket and come down, because you will find that it creates a really beautiful stretch and elongates right through the side obliques, and it even relaxes and lengthens down the IT band. So that's another option if you need that weight out of the hips, okay? Otherwise, if you can stay, sitting up and this is a pretty intense pose because we're activating a reciprocal type of inhibition from both sides, from one leg to the other. Other options, I love what you just did, would be to straighten the front leg and just pull the back leg in, or place the right foot or whatever foot that was the internal rotation, put it on the ground and just turn the knee in. That's another option. Lots of modifications that we can do in order to get something out of this pose. And I know that that's quite a bit, so just wave at me if you guys feel like you need any extra help or support with what you think might help you the most. Self-care wise in this posture, if you're sitting up and not lying back, it might be to just take your hands and rub them down the quadricep and the IT of the internal rotated hip. If your mind goes to thoughts like, why are you so tight? Turn it back into a loving thought of, thank you for listening and relaxing. Thank you for working so hard to support me as I walk on this planet. Yeah, one more minute. When you're ready to come out of it, lean toward the external rotation leg that's bent with the knee out, and then straighten that internal rotation leg out, and then straighten both legs forward and give them a shake. Roll through the taps. All right, we're gonna go straight into the other side for deer. So external rotation, the knee comes in, the foot comes toward the groin. Internal rotation, the other foot goes back. If it's so obvious for me, like my left hip of the internal rotation is like so much higher, it just means that that one's tighter. So again, don't hesitate to pull props in, don't hesitate to shift and modify the direction of where your feet are. If they were super close to the body, remember that's the least amount of pressure that we put into the joints. If we start to slide that right foot forward, or sorry, trying to keep it with internal, external rotated foot forward, internal rotation foot back, then making those adjustments. And then remember, if you have a lot of pain in any of the joints, you can always straighten the external rotated leg forward, and you can even prop that internal rotated foot up and just turn the knee in and be able to work into the joint as well. Remember, loving thoughts wherever you are, whatever you're doing. The body really responds. I've said this so many times in my classes that your body knows what you're thinking. You could literally close your eyes and imagine that you are standing in the middle of an iceberg and that cold rushing water was coming all around you, and your body will begin to respond as though that's where you are. It's so incredibly powerful. Using your creativity, using your imagination is how we begin part of this healing process of what our body needs on any given day. It's what are you telling yourself? What's your self-talk? What's it sound like? And I do encourage you guys to pay attention to what that self-talk is, and then ask it, is this coming from my head or is it coming from my heart? Because if it's not coming from your heart, then ask your heart, what do you think? Because your higher self, your angels, your guides, they're going to talk to you through the heart center, that heart chakra. Talk to you through your third eye, your pineal, and our connection to self there. And they're never judgmental. They just state very clear, authentic phrases, very inspiring and motivational. That's kind of how you tell the difference. If it's telling you a story or telling you about your past, or if it's giving you the up, the down, the good and the bad, then that's your head. And the reason I say bring your awareness to it, because you want to think, you're going to react to what your thoughts are. And if you're reacting in fear or anxiety, then you're acting off of what the thought was in the moment. So if you were to switch it from its reaction to what the head said and see how it reacts to what the heart is saying, then you might find that you're actually feeling calmer. That you can take the thoughts, feelings, and emotions that create specific actions and make a choice. Do I pay attention to this or not? Sometimes it's very difficult. We have a default that we go to, a norm, something that's familiar, but you always have a choice. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. Start to lean toward the external rotated hips, slide the internal hip foot forward, both legs extend up, begin to shake out. Okay. We're gonna come onto the belly now and get both legs straight, and we're gonna relax the front of the hips because we've been working into them a lot. We're gonna come into Sphinx. So when you get onto your belly, ideally just coming up onto the elbows. They're going to be underneath your shoulders. Slide your feet maybe hip width distance. Are you able to go on your belly?
I'm thinking about it.
That's okay. That's all right. You can always lay straight back. And that's going to relax the front of your hips too. Just put a blanket under your head. Having your feet hip width distance allows you to kind of rock the hips a little bit from side to side. Feels pretty good. Okay, other options here. When you're up on your shoulders, or so on your shoulders, on your elbows, then it can create tension in the shoulders. And if that's the case, then go ahead and come down into crocodile, which means that you're just like folding your arms in front of you on the ground and relax your forehead on your hands. And then maybe rock your hips a little bit from side to side again. Giving yourself some coming around and I'm actually stepping on you guys' feet. I haven't done that in like forever. That's what I feel like doing. Nancy, will you turn this in just a tad? Is that okay on the hip? Mm-hmm. Okay. Does that hurt?
It's tight.
It's tight? Okay. Bring your awareness into the front of the hips because we're able to turn loose and let loose the front of your hips here. Maybe even bring the awareness into the belly, like the third, second, and first chakras from the bottom of the ribs down. And breathe into those chakras. Is it okay if I turn it in? Mm-hmm. Just your feet. Okay, good.
Oh, wow.
How much fun though?
3 times a week.
Wow, that's a lot.
My husband's really excited.
Oh, I think that's so cool. It's like when you come up with, and again, these are all self-care things, you know? When you're able to come up with things that you can do that help not only spice up your life, but even your life with your partner, yeah, that's fantastic.
I meet a whole different group of people, so interesting.
Let's do about 30 more seconds. Try to take 3 more nice full cleansing breaths. I haven't worn heels in.
I gave all mine away after knee surgery and hip surgery,
Yeah.
and I had to go find.
Yeah, I don't own a pair of heels. I haven't since I moved to that's been 5 years that I've been there.
Well, it's been like 7 or 8 pairs that I bought until I'm finding ones that I can
Wow.
wear. But yeah, it's all right. It's all
That's
right.
so cool. All right, give your hips another little shake. Maybe your head and neck while your head is leaning. You just kind of relax, shake it out a little bit. And then when you're ready, inhale, engage your belly, press up onto your hands or your elbows, and then we're going to come up into a tabletop position. So you're going to be on all fours. We want to stretch out the spine a little bit while we're here. So place the hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. And inhale, you're going to arc the front part of the spine by looking up, and your tailbone is up. And then when you exhale, arc like a cat, tuck the chin, hips push forward. Just a couple more times. Utilize that at your own rhythmic pace of your own breath. A little cat-cow. And Lynn, you can just bring your hips up, bring your feet more under your knees. Yep, and lift your hips up and just do a couple of those, okay? Press your hands into the floor for the support. There you go, good. All right, and then we're also gonna turn the body by a more of a lateral flexion of the spine. I have to think about how to prompt this. So you're going to bring your right shoulder forward and your left hip to the left. And then it arcs the right side of the body like a banana. And then you switch it out and your right hip tilts to the right and your left shoulder comes forward. Does that make sense
So
to you
like
guys?
banana asana?
It's kind of like a little banana asana.
Like you're wagging your tail, maybe?
That's, oh, perfect. Thank you, Trisha. It's like if you were a puppy and you were wagging your tail. So do a few of those. Make sure you breathe through them a little bit. Good. All right, our last pose is child's pose. So many options for child's pose as well. If you want to get the full compression into the hips, the knees, and the ankles, then the knees and feet are together and flat on the floor. And then you're leaning forward with the arms extended either all the way out in front of the head, or full balasana would be the palms back by your feet and heels and the forehead on the ground. Now, prop options for this would be a block under the forehead to bring the floor up higher, a bolster in front of you to raise the floor even higher. Other options would be to spread the knees super wide or even a little wide and also come forward with either props or not. Other options would be to take a block, turn it any direction you like, and put it underneath your sits bones. This is going to prop the hips up a little bit more. So many things that you can do. So the hips are going to stay down. You're going to bring the knees in. Can you pull the feet off the floor and bring the knees in? Does that hurt?
Mm-mm.
Okay. So this is where you're basically going to do. The hands are going to come right here. And your knees can either stay together or they can open. Now, I want you to just kind of breathe and hold that a few times, and then you can relax them back down, and then do that again.
Okay.
Okay? That's the main thing that you're doing. Okay. Is that okay?
Mm-hmm.
And don't forget, you can lay on that, Nancy, if you wanna pull it like this. Does that bring it up high enough?
Mhm.
Okay, cool. Is that okay, Jenny?
Mm-hmm.
Tricia, do you want a sandbag?
No.
Okay. Chris, do you want a sandbag on your back? Okay. Jane, what about you? Do you want a sandbag? Okay. We're gonna be here for probably another 3 minutes. Don't hesitate if you need to tweak or reposition props. The idea is never to torture yourself.
Jackie, would you do me a favor, move it up my back just a little bit, please?
Yeah. Do you want it more sideways?
No, the middle section there is where it needs.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Do you need it lower?
No, actually across right there. Okay,
Here?
yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Cool, you're welcome. A little added weight sometimes back there could be exactly what the muscles in your back need. For those of you that already have tight or sensitive backs, then the sandbag's not gonna feel good. So that's why I like to pay attention to what you're feeling at the time and what's gonna be most beneficial. one more minute. Remember to breathe in through the back of your body. Inhale, engage the belly, rolling up. Shavasana is next. Shavasana, you can do anything you like. You can either go right back where you were, if you want to turn over and lay on your back. If there's a final pose that would help, don't hesitate to do that now. If you want to throw a little spine twist in there, anything like that. Does anybody want me to like grab your feet and rock your hips tonight? Mm-hmm. If you do, just lean back. Do we do that, Trisha? Too? If you want your sandbag, if you're laying on your back, if you want your sandbag over your hips, kind of putting it low across the front of the pelvis is sometimes a really nice place. Do you want me to do your legs? Oh, please. Okay. Relax a little bit. If you've got any low back issues, pull a bolster or blanket underneath both your knees to take the pressure out of the low back. Do you want this underneath? Mm-hmm. Do you want me to pull in your hips at all?
Yeah.
Yeah? Is that all right?
Mm-hmm.
Is it okay? Do you want me to pull you? Michelle, no? Okay. All right. Does anybody need anything? Give me a little wave.
You used to hold this so it was like under my, just a couple under my shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'll do it a little more. Okay, now try. Is that better? Okay.
Maybe just a little bit.
Make a big difference. Okay. We're going to play with the elements tonight because they are incredibly helpful for healing, for just helping to burn away the thoughts that you don't want, to purify and cleanse what's left over, to activate, restore, and renew what is there. We want to take a moment to think about what your whole body is feeling though right now. Because you've been moving, you've been actively engaging, but now for Shavasana, it's about a full turn off, turn loose, and let loose effect. So scan your body from the top of your head down through the back of your neck, even through your jaw, you guys, because sometimes even the jaw is active. And we want to let the teeth and everything get a chance to soften here. Pull it through your neck, through both of your arms, down the torso, through the hips, down through the legs. Just a simple scan. And just asking everything to release. Feel the belly rise and fall with each inhale and exhale. And with the help of your higher self, your angels and guides, we ask them to come in and activate the energy that is in your best interest tonight. By utilizing first the element of fire. And you can use fire like a bonfire, maybe just a flame, maybe just a spark. All of it is helpful. There's no way to do that wrong. So when you pull your version of fire, it could even be any color that you prefer. It could even be a rainbow flame of some sort. And I want you to invite it in through the crown of your head, asking it to dissolve any thoughts, feelings, or emotions across all space, time, dimension, and reality. That all known and unknown thoughts, feelings, and emotions are now washed and cleared of things that no longer serve you. And then it's up to you what you want to do with that flame after you've brought it into the crown of your head. You can pull it down through all the chakras. If you want to pull it strictly into a specific part of the body, you can do that as well. If you don't really know what to do with it, just immerse and imagine that your whole body steps into the fire. Again, you already know instinctively. Never doubt yourself when it comes to that. If you instinctively feel, just step in, then just step in. If it's telling you to bring it right into the center of the brain, bring it right into the center of the brain. If it's telling you to put it in the gut, put it in the gut. If it's telling you to put it in your hands, your feet, go there. Breathe it in. Breathe it through. And then breathe it out. Let it disappear. We're moving to the element of water next. This can be any kind of water. It could be a raindrop, a snowflake. It can be a waterfall. It can be an ocean. Same thing. It can either come into you through the crown of the head, or maybe you immerse yourself in or under this form of water. What do you instinctively feel is right for you at this time? The water is purifying and cleansing, so whatever energy is left over, it has a way of pulling out anything else that might be heavy and dense. And it gives it back to source. Sometimes it recycles it back through Mother Earth. That's how we co-create our own healing experiences, by using nature, these elements. And our own angels and guides and the energy of the universe. Breathe it in. Breathe it through. And breathe it out. Next, wind. Wind, air. This element is to shift something from one direction to another. So if there are any thoughts in your mind that might be negative, it shifts them to positive. So this can be just by imagining that you're standing outside with a cool breeze. Maybe you're standing on the side of a cliff and there is a massive amount of wind that is moving through your entire body. Maybe it's as though you are flying and soaring through the air. Maybe it's though you are standing watching a tornado, or maybe you're actually immersing inside of it. Even if it feels uncomfortable, trust. It's always temporary. Step in, breathe it in. Breathe it through. And then breathe it out. Our next element is sun. Imagine standing beneath the warm sunshine as it revitalizes, restores, and renews the energy of every cell, nerve, tissue, muscle, and bone of your body. Invite it in through the crown of the head. Again, maybe you're pulling it directly into a specific place, or maybe you're just immersing yourself within its rays. Just like if you're watching the sun as it reflects off the water, it's like dancing stars. It glitters. Maybe you feel that move through your body. Maybe you just feel the warmth against your skin. The sun is our fuel. Not only ours, but the planet's too. Breathe it in. Breathe it through. And breathe it out. And last but not least, we have the earth. Feel the ground beneath you. Feel these mats beneath you. And then bring your awareness into the dirt beneath this building, that you can tether and anchor your own energy, just like cords like umbilical cords, anything like that. And it goes straight down through the dirt and through the rocks and the crystals and the minerals, and all the way down to the center part of the planet. And then ask Mother Earth if she will anchor you in. Imagine that she can nourish you from there, and that all of this beautiful green energy begins to move up through rainbow colors and all the way into your body, into your heart center, maybe up into your third eye, out through the crown of the head where it circles around, it comes right back up again. Breathe it in. Breathe it through. And then breathe it out. Nowhere to go right now. nothing else to do. Just breathe. Bring a hand to your heart and a hand to your belly. Being mindful of this exact moment. That voice in your head, that my voice being resonated and received within your ears, holds an energy and vibration of love. Receive, refresh, and renew. Breathing in and breathing out. Slowly begin to bring your awareness back into your body, from the tips of your toes to the tips of your fingers to the top of your head. Begin to wiggle and move your body, waking it up, bringing sensations back alive, inviting your joints to come back into mobility. And when you're ready, you can roll over onto your side into a gentle fetal position before we eventually push ourselves back up into a seated posture. Alright, once you get your sits bones connected to the floor again, try to balance them out, lengthen the spine, engage your core, drop your shoulders down. Reach your arms straight up in the air, wiggle your fingers, getting rid of any spent energy that's in your hands. Drop both hands down your back as you lengthen through the underarms, the triceps, out through the elbow tips. Try to lift your ribs a little bit higher, pull the core in a little bit more, drop the shoulders down a little bit more. Inhale, bring the hands back up. Palms together, exhale, we draw them down into the heart center. Bowing the head, honoring yourself for this time that you devoted to your own self-care, your own self-practice here today. We thank our angels and guides, our higher selves, for coming and utilizing the energy, the restoration that we needed. We thank Tricia for the space. I thank you for allowing me to be your guide and to channel this energy for you today. Have a great night. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, let me turn the